So I wonder, there's a little pond back there, and you can see that tank is, you know, 3/4 full. I wonder if that's the water for the 4 houses that live in James Miller's. John Miller's. James John? I can't remember which one it is. Maybe those guys were sucking water out. To deliver to somebody? I don't know. Well, I just got a phone call from the project owner, and the guy who's putting in the pool, I don't know, it's been a mess. And now he's moving the slab. See, I wanted the footing, then the wall, then the slab on top of that, because it's high, it's not going to be that deep. And then I wanted the wall of the pool to come up on the, you know, the rest of the way. So footing, bottom wall, top wall, all basically the weight all running on one thing. He's moving it and going to put the slab on top of, not the slab, the pool part. He's moving the bottom over, and then he's going to put the pool on top of it. It's doable, but John Miller's. We're leaving it. Did you see it all? See, this is the Fireman Brown, which bypasses Greencastle, and this will come out on the other side, on the other side of Greencastle. Well, there's that water truck that was filling up down in John Miller's. I don't know what is he emptying it? What's he doing? Talking. Something going on here. Must be a church. Yeah, definitely. Oh, this is interesting. Cotton Bay, a luxury resort and golf community, coming soon. Okay. Cotton Bay Holdings, private property. So does this mean this road is now private property, or what's the deal here? Because I was going to go down here and maybe shoot some drone footage. Of course, over here, believe it or not. And when we first came, this was all manicured, and you could play golf on it. We came down here, I don't play golf, but we came down here and it was all pristine, and you could go to up ahead and get some golf clubs and play around or two. got some footage, not as much as I was planning on getting, because the sand fleas over here are like, I don't think they've eaten recently, because they were ravenous. So I got a little bit of footage, and that's good. Okay, so you just saw, that was the Cotton Bay Resort that's coming soon, and Lighthouse Point is coming soon. That one I'm pretty sure will happen unless Disney says, you know, it's going to cost us too much for something or other, and they'll back out. But and then Bahamas National Trust could buy that. But and then there's Jack's Bay, which I went by, and the chain was across the entrance earlier. Like, okay, so how do people come and see what they could potentially buy if they can't get in? So, you know, all these things, I mean, people get excited about all this stuff. Down here, there's not much, and you know, there's not too much in the rental pool market. There's not too much hotel stuff, and you know, between everything that could be going on and will be going on, yeah, it could be really busy. But these people down here in the south part of the island haven't been real busy in a long time. And then there's the always, will any of them happen? Because just because you put up, you know, move a little sand or put up some big signs that says you're going to be doing it coming soon, blah, 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 doesn't mean it's actually going to happen at any point in time. Well, almost back to Governor's, and I'll go home, have a quick iced coffee, and then unload everything, and then head over to Potlatch and see what the story is. Pretty sure I know what the story is, but we'll find out. Right, and I'm going to run through a, let's say, hypothetical question to you. I'll do that at home instead of while driving. It has to do with Lighthouse Point, the Meritage Hospitality Group, and the related group, and Disney. Oh, and the government, and development. Okay, I just looked over what he's doing, and well, I mean, it will work and everything else to the point of the bottom of the slab. So what he's doing is sort of making an oversized box on the bottom to put a smaller size box on the top. Whereas if he had just taken the time and laid out the foundation part to begin with, he could have done one box on the bottom, poured the slab, and then continued all the way up. So instead, he's wasting a lot of time, a lot of materials, and he's still got to get the top dead square the way it needs to be. That's going to be the more critical one. The way he's doing it will work, but it's going to take him longer to do it, and it's going to take more materials, cinder blocks, and concrete to do it. Okay, I'm back home. Let's see. So, this Lighthouse Point thing, you know, this is just a hypothetical theory type thing. But if you do some looking, and once again, I can't overstate the importance of reading, and not just reading the words, but understanding the words. I recently saw something that pointed to two entities owning Lighthouse Point. One was the Meritage Hospitality something or other, Wisconsin, Michigan, someplace up there. And then also the Related Group, which is out of Miami, which is run by, I think, George Perez, who's a developer and a billionaire. So let's just suppose, okay, that those two entities did combined owned Lighthouse Point. Now, to develop Lighthouse Point would take an enormous amount of cash. Long road, a lot of infrastructure, etc., etc., etc. I'm not sure their pockets are that deep. Remember, Disney's worth $110 billion company. So let's suppose they own that. Now, let's just suppose they wanted to sell that because they couldn't develop it, and then they could take the money and use that towards another development, which let's suppose that potentially where Whiteland Beach is, and that, you know, hypothetically, the Meritage Group was looking to purchase 800 acres in Whiteland Beach in Rock Sound area. Now, this is all hypothetical, right? So that way they would have dumped their holding into that, into something that would have worked out perfectly fine. Disney buys it, government's happy, there's some jobs, Disney's happy, they paid for it. The Related and Meritage got the money out of the sale of that, and now let's suppose they move into developing Whiteland Beach and buying 800 acres there and putting a resort on that beach, which probably as a beach is an absolutely wonderful beach. Is it as pristine as Lighthouse Point? No, absolutely not. But is it a good usable beach for that purpose? Absolutely. And one of those things that tells me that this hypothetical situation might happen is that the road, if you go all the way down to the end of Rock Sound and you look at that road, and I can't remember who it is that owns all that land, but part of it, I think he's dead, the wife owns it. Part of that, from what I understand in the deed, is that that road has to be maintained in order for the deed on their land, down by Whiteland Beach, to stay in effect. If they don't maintain that road, that disappears. Okay, now that's miles and miles. It goes all the way down to the end of Fish Street, where Ocean Hole is, and goes all the way around and comes out on the other side of Rock Sound and back onto the Queens Highway. So, why would somebody, i.e. the owners of something, some land, spend all that money to bulldoze miles and miles and miles of road, pushing it back, when it hasn't been done, in my recent memory, I mean, since I've been here, years and years, unless there was a reason to make sure you had clear title to that land. So, and let's suppose you heard whispers of Meritage Group looking to buy Whiteland Beach. So does it start to make sense why they would sell Lighthouse Point? Take that money, invest it over here, because that would have been a major problem to them to develop it, where this way they pass that along to somebody else. Now it's your problem, and hope that the sale of the other one goes through, and now you can put up a resort closer to Rock Sound, which again will have jobs and everything else, closer to a population that's hungry for jobs. It's all hypothetical, as far as I know. But that's what I see coming. And this is just the pre-warm-up. Luckily, I'll be hopefully long since asleep, since they don't usually start these things till 12 o'clock, sometimes later. And then you'll wake up at 4 or 5 and there's still cars pulling away.